Hello and welcome to the Cardano Hotel podcast, broadcasting from the Cardano Hotel Ginebra in Barcelona. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can delegate to a stake pool, which is called Hotel. And today we're meeting Josepa. Josepa is the CEO and the founder of a company called Revuto. And Revuto aims to tackle your subscription problems. So let's go and meet Josepa. So hi, Jos. Welcome to the Cardano Hotel podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Jos, you represent a company called Revuto. So tell us a bit about the company. What kind of company is Revuto and what is your position in the company?
Sure. So my name is Jos. I'm CEO and co-founder at Revuto. Revuto is a subscription management solution. So essentially what we do, we help you to unbundle your subscription and decide which ones do you want to pay each month. And we're currently doing a token sale on Cardano.
Right. You have the backing of the Input Output, which is the company behind Cardano. So please describe the nature of your relationship with Input Output.
So we're the first native token sale on Cardano, which is a very exciting thing. We get to solve a range of technical but also logistic challenges. And in order to do that, we got the official support from the IOHK Foundation. And we also have several team members, such as Chief Product at IOHK, in order to help us to make sure that everything runs smooth.
Give us an explanation exactly of what exactly is the problem that Revuto is trying to solve with the subscriptions. What does it mean to unbundle subscriptions?
Absolutely. So what's happening nowadays, just for context, is that all companies, both big and small, public and private, are getting higher revenue or subscription revenue instead of one-off revenue. And the reason why this is happening is that investors are realizing that you simply get to extract more value from user bases, and you also get to learn their behavior over time. This is why both companies that should and companies that shouldn't are now aggressively moving towards a subscription-based model. So according to TechCrunch, they're growing 100% year over year, and they're also entering industry never connect to subscriptions, like the car industry, insurance industry, all of these various sectors that don't come to mind first when you think about recurring expenses.
Yeah. Right.
So what's happening is that this is currently all being, let's say, broken on the back of consumers. So they're the ones that have to pay each month, both for the services that they used, but also for the services that they never used.
Yeah,
for example, you can pay for Netflix, in fact, if you even logged in or if you watched all the shows at once. What's interesting is that seasonality is very profound in the two biggest categories of subscriptions. One are entertainment-based subscription services. These would be your Netflixes, your Spotifys, your Audibles, so content that's consumed through a digital subscription. And their seasonality comes from the fact of how do they push content. So content today, so you don't watch it each week, but you just watch it from beginning to end, and then you go and don't watch it for some time. Right. The second biggest category are SaaS products, frequently used by SMEs, but also solopreneurs, freelancers, especially developers, designers, and marketing professionals. Right. And what's interesting there is that they have a very profound project-based type of work. So they usually ship work, not every or similar. So in order to help them manage that, we've developed a system which creates virtual debit cards, so VDCs, one virtual debit card per one subscription. And the method that we use is you get to decide every month, you get a notification saying Netflix wants to charge $9.99 in order to charge you for Netflix. And you have three options. You can block it, snooze it, or approve it. Blocking it means you just get suspended, so you don't get to watch Netflix this month. Snoozing means that you're postponing that decision for a couple of hours or days, meaning activating the so-called grace period. And approving means that you will be paying and therefore enjoying that service. What happens in the back end is that if you decide to block, what Netflix sees is a genuine MasterCard virtual debit card, but it's empty, so there's no funds. So there's no penalties for you as the end consumer, but you simply don't pay it this month, and you have a choice to reactivate it next month.
To give us an idea, like how large is the, I don't know if you know this, how large is the subscription market? And how much money do you think, would you estimate that people might be lost on subscriptions on average for like the average person?
Absolutely. So the subscription market is enormous and it's growing really fast. So the statistic that's out there, according to Gartner, is that the average European consumer spends 130 euros per month on subscription services, which is 5% of all their spend. Exactly. It's insane, and it's only getting bigger, especially in the SaaS, software as a service tools. Right. And what's happening is that the majority of us never review these services. We never review the cost. And the reason why is, yeah, exactly. Everyone is. So that's the rewarding part about building Revuto, is anyone you talk to is very likely to feel the pain and very likely to use the service, which is a very nice thing to hear as a founder. But the thing that's happening is that when they first were happy, because $9 for unlimited movies, that sounds like an amazing deal. And for our brain, it's much easier to process $9 per month rather than 9 times 12 months equals the full annual package. Exactly. So it's a very sticky model, and initially it was very effective, especially in acquiring users. But now users are slowly waking up. But that's kind of married with the fact that they are growing. So for example, especially consumer electronics is currently fueled by a renaissance. So today you have wearables that can be bought only through subscription-based models. So really, subscriptions are popping left and right. And what's really challenging for the consumer is how to be able to securely try out these services, but really be protected if you don't plan to use or if you don't want to extend your free trial.
Okay. You already gave a bit of an idea of how you intend to solve this problem. Are there any other solutions, any other companies on markets that try to solve the problem? And why are you going to succeed where they are not?
Exactly. So there are other companies. What we say always is that very few companies offer both tracking and control. So they either offer tracking alone or control alone. So essentially, where do we succeed and other companies don't is we're the only company that marries both tracking and control. So there are other companies that do tracking alone. A classical example of this would be companies like Truebill, essentially open banking trend. So you essentially let them in so that they can go through your banking transactions and recognize those that are recurring expenses and subscriptions, and then offer you insights on what you're buying. The other option of control is sometimes they only allow you to block a merchant, but merchant classification and transaction classification is very complex, which we know because our CTO was head of AI and machine learning at Intuit. So working at Mint.com, exactly that. So the main challenge is how do you marry both tracking and control? And with Revuto, with our system of one virtual debit card per transaction is actually the way in which we marry the two.
Yeah, because exactly, I mean, you take control of the subscriptions with the use of a Revuto debit card, right? So can you sort of very short terms describe the process?
Absolutely. So what you would do is once you onboard Revuto, there are two use cases. Let's say you have an existing Netflix account, and the other one is if you want to start a free trial. So let's say you're one of those, as we call them, hesitant subscribers. These are usually customers in developed markets that know about Netflix, but still don't trust the service, or they don't trust themselves on their control and on the fact that they'll remember to cancel the free trial. So if you already have Netflix, what you do is the same procedure as if your card expired. So let's say your card expired last month, the only profile and change the method of payment. So insert a new card. Again, this is a virtual debit card in the MasterCard program, so there's no way of the merchant knowing that this is a subscription management solution. It looks like any other, so there's no way that they can discriminate you. And that's it. In that case, the subscription will pop up in your app, and you'll start receiving notification every month when your billing cycle is due. So every first in the month or every second in the month, set it up. For free trials, what you do is when you create an account, when the service provider asks you for a method of payment, you simply insert our virtual debit card that we've created for you, which is at that point empty, and you will then start receiving notification if you want to block, snooze, or approve.
Gotcha. Okay, well, this might be an obvious question to you and me, but it's still worth asking. Where does blockchain technology come into this project?
There's a lot of different aspects, but away. So the first option is it's impossible to pay subscriptions with crypto, and it's a very big use case that people want to do. In particular, the use case that we're working on is not only being able to pay with crypto, but also being able to access micro lending and borrowing. And for you and me, it might sound too obvious or too irrelevant, but two of our biggest categories of users are actually Gen Z, so consumers that often struggle with cash. They live out of pocket money, so having 10 euros today might be an issue, but in 2 weeks' time they'll be receiving it. And the second is freelancers and small and medium business owners. So essentially people who really have to struggle with cash flow management. If you're running an online business, you can sell goods today, but you only see the money in a couple of days' time when the transaction is wired back to your account. So managing those cash flows is really important.
And exactly.
And it's one of the explore where this.
And that 130 euro at the end of the month can otherwise really hurt, I suppose, if you don't have it. So.
Exactly.
So you've chosen to go to make your product with the Cardano blockchain. Why did you choose Cardano over other blockchains?
So we initially thought about whether we want to do it on some other blockchains, primarily Ether, but very quickly we realized because we have a lot of small transactions, it'd be unsustainable. So the gas fees would cost more than the subscription payment in and of itself. So we quickly realized that that's simply not a good way to go. What we also realized is that Cardano offers us a way to have access to fast, cost-effective transactions. And it's also quite focused towards security, which dealing with payments and other people's money is a very important thing to keep in mind. And also there was an opportunity to work tightly with people involved in the IOHK and the Cardano Foundation, which was just very exciting to kind of make history and also solve an actual problem that consumers have.
Exactly. At what stage are you? Do you already have a working product?
So our product is currently in beta test in Europe. The app will be launching across Europe. So our general availability, when you'll be able to download it from the App Store and Google Play, is the end of June. So very, very fast to try out the first functionalities. And also that's the moment where if you participated in any of our referral programs, you'll be able to see what's the account with your Revu token. So what's the status?
Right. I understand that at the moment it was possible to already advance your projects solely with the use of native tokens capability. So how do you envision Revuto developing once Cardano launches smart contracts?
Yes, so as the entire community, we're waiting for the Alonso hard fork, and we're very excited by it. So what's going to be happening with the smart contracts is that we'll be able to implement several DeFi functionalities, and kind of our vision and the master plan there is for you as someone who holds ADA, you'll be able to stake Revu and able to simply live from that. And that's kind of the grand idea behind what do we do when the smart contracts are launched. Okay,
so now as far as tokens are concerned, you've created the two coins, the REVU coin and the EU stable coin, right? So what are the use case? What are the use cases for either one of these coins?
Exactly. So essentially, the Euro R, as we call it, is the stable coin that's expected to be able to actually pay for subscription services. So you'll be able to hold REVU, but then you'll be able to pay with our stable coin for the actual charges that are occurring. With REVU, you'll also have a chance to activate the governance element of it. So you'll be able to have a governance component to it all, and essentially you'll be able to access micro lending and borrowing. But in order for us to enable you to actually pay to the merchants, activate the stablecoin.
Right. So your coins obviously need to be held in a crypto wallet, right? So which wallets does Revuto offer to its future token holders to safekeep the coins?
So we'll be fully compatible with the Cardano, Yori, and Daedalus wallets. So you'll be able to store your REVU there.
And so what operations now or in the future can the wallets perform? And will any functionalities be added once we get smart contracts on Cardano?
Yes, so the main capabilities will be, as I said, paying with crypto, micro lending and borrowing. And we have a more detailed roadmap listed on our website, but also we'll be updating that as soon as the hard fork happens. So we have quite an ambitious roadmap for those who want to know more. crypto.revuto.com, where we have a bit more of a technical detail on our roadmap and also our white paper.
Right. So we're looking forward to paying with crypto, borrowing funds, allowing lending, earning interest on staking. I understand it's also possible to monetize subscriptions that you don't use with the Revuto, right? So how's that intended to work?
Exactly. So the main idea behind that is that a lot of us are, for example, usually at work. And the classical example here would be, let's say I'm using Adobe Creative Cloud, but I'm not utilizing the full 12 months. What I can do within my package, if I have a team package, is that I can share or swap that password with someone from my network. So for example, I have a colleague that has Figma, another popular design tool, and we can swap for the month so that he can enjoy my tool, Adobe, and I can enjoy his tools that we have on our roadmap. So it won't be live at the launch, but it's one of the options that we notice that people who already have those subscriptions service all together, and we can monetize each other's unused or underutilized packages, all within the terms and conditions, securely within the app.
Right, cool. So you guys are about to launch one of the first, or perhaps even the very first ICO on Cardano. At what stage are the preparations for the ICO, and what can we look forward to? And have you already set the date for the actual retail ICO?
Yes, we have. So we've started on the 3rd of May. We've launched our private sale, and we're just in the process of closing our private round. And our public round will be starting on the 18th of May. And will be lasting until the 29th of May. So it's going to be a very exciting community sale. And as you pointed out, one of the first, if not the first, native token sales on Cardano.
Yeah, it's very exciting indeed, especially because it's happening near my birthday. So I'm extra excited. Listen, basically coming to the end of the podcast interview, do you have a message to the Cardano and crypto community and to people that are struggling to control their subscriptions?
Absolutely. So our message would be that no consumer should be forced to pay for something that they haven't used or haven't even logged in. And we think that's going to be not only a standard in the future, but also a basic consumer right. For everyone who's interested in making history on the first ever native token on Cardano, we would REVU and forget about subscriptions for life.
Fantastic. Lastly, where can people find you?
Everyone can find more information on us at crypto.revuto.com.
Okay, Josh, thank you very much for all the information. Wish you a lot of luck with the historical first ICO on Cardano. People will talk about it for generations to come. And maybe after the ICO has has taken place, we can meet again, and then you can give us an update.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a marathon, not a sprint, and we plan to give various updates as we move along the roadmap. Thank you very much for the support and the interest, and yes, looking forward to future updates.
Fantastic. See you soon. Good
Thank
luck.
you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.